Said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Green Bay Packers trades, rumors, and news. Live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content. Shout out to friends and family. Shout out to Packers Nation. Y'all know what we're here to talk about. This was the showdown for first place in the NFC North, and it's levels to this in the NFL, y'all. And we just saw the level. Detroit Lions are a well coached team, extremely well disciplined. They're playing at a championship level football right now. And you can tell this is a team that was in an NFC championship. And you can tell the Packers are an up and coming team by the mistakes that we were making. Love that pick six before the end of the half. That really sealed our fate. But prior to that, the penalties, just the mental mistakes that you can't make against good teams. We know now that we can say the Packers beat themselves, but this is where I'm getting tired of saying the same thing in losses, that they're beating themselves. The Packers need to become more disciplined. And I know we didn't have Jair Alexander. I know we didn't have Williams. Branch got kicked out for them. So it was different things going on. That still doesn't stop the mental mistakes that the Packers were having in this game. That's what really irked me in this game. Jordan Love has to protect the football. He has to protect the football. It's crazy some of these passes he tries to attempt. He almost threw another one when they were driving late in the fourth quarter. We just got to play better. We got to play better. The 10 penalties comes at the worst time. We did miss a field goal. It was just too many mistakes to beat a quality team today. Too many mistakes by the Packers. You can't play like this and expect to beat good teams, period. You're not going to beat good teams. We had the same problem with the Vikings. The Vikings, we made a couple mistakes and it cost us. The Lions, it cost us. We got to tighten up on that side of the on that side. We got to tighten up with the mental mistakes, and even defensively, I thought we played okay. Being we're out Jair Alexander, I think the offense put them in bad predicaments for the most part. Otherwise, I don't. I think the defense played well, seeing that we didn't have Jair Alexander and Williams. Like, the offense got to do better. Jordan Love has to be better at quarterback. He cannot continue to throw. He's throwing interceptions at an alarming rate, Packer Nation. He's throwing interceptions at an alarming rate right now. Jordan Love is a dynamic player, no doubt, but he is definitely looking more and more every game like the Black Fire. I don't know what y'all think of Packer Nation, but that's how I feel. Again, it was the mental mistakes that hurt us. We can look at individual plays. Dante Wicks dropping some passes. The running back play that could have went for a touchdown. All of that is cool, but we still made too many mental mistakes against a quality team. Jared Goff is completing like 80% of his passes right now. So we needed to play perfect football to beat this team. That one turnover just killed us. That one turnover, that pick six killed us, and it was completely unnecessary. I don't know what he was thinking. And then we couldn't run the ball anymore because we got down in the game. And Jacob, shout out to you. You were doing well early, but we went away from the run game because we are trying to catch up. But Josh Jacobs, salute to you. You've been very solid this year, and you're looking good at running back. Looking very good. Yeah, if the drops don't help, the drops, yeah. The drop Hey, Dante Wicks. Hey, Amtrak said it best. Bleach Report boss. Amtrak said that Dante Wicks is just like Adams, Devontae Adams in the second season. I hope that's the case, and he'll turn into what Devontae was, because it looked like he following suit. Shout out to Amtrak. But that's what I'm saying. I'm including the drops though as the mental mistakes though. Bleach Report boss. That's still mental mistakes. That's what I'm saying. You can't do all of that against quality teams. We make too many mistakes in general. And to make those against quality teams, you can't expect to win. And the first thing we need to correct is Jordan Love at quarterback. He has to be more careful with the football. You can't continue to throw picks like this. Let's get into these numbers. Then I'm going to open up the phone lines here. Packers lose 24 to 14. And like I said, the pivotal quarter in this game was the second quarter. and we were down 10-3, which wasn't crazy. The pick six before half by Jordan Love was a backbreaker in this game. Backbreaker. Yes, the drops. Yes, all of that. But that pick six was a backbreaker. Jared Goff, another excellent performance, 18 to 22, 145, and a touchdown. So it's not like they were carving us up offensively. Jordan Love was 23 of 39, but that pick killed us. Josh Jacobs had 13 for 195, but a lot of that damage was done in the first half. Manuel Wilson had the touchdown late. And again, I always tell you, my threshold to let me know the Packers playing well is 30 rushes. They didn't make that threshold, so I already knew they were in trouble. And then Jaden Reed, I want to say he's our number one receiver. And then Dobbs is number two. Jaden Reed, 5 catches, 113. Christian Watson, 337. Kraft, 4 for 34. Brooks, 3 for 28. Dobbs had a slow night, 4 for 28. And then on the other end, even without Jair, 7 catches for the Sun God and 56 yards, and he had the 1 touchdown. But I mean, we held them in check. They had 124 yards rushing, okay, but nothing crazy. This was the offense not making enough plays. This isn't the defense now. This is the offense not making enough plays. We got to keep it real. The penalties, the fumbling, even though they recovered the fumbling, the interception. This is on the offense, this loss. This is definitely on the offense. Let me know what y'all think. I think this is definitely on the offense. We gotta play better, y'all. We gotta play better. And it's the mental mistakes. It's almost like the Bucks. It's like they don't. It's no attention to detail. Just they're at the halfway mark. The Packers need to turn the corner, start playing smarter and more high IQ football. For real, seriously, it's ridiculous. Let me see who in the building. A shout out friends and family. What up, Brandon King Carter? Salute, salute. Veggie Gross, what's good? Eric Payne, what's good? Dark Kent, what's good? The homie Jeff Riley out of the OC, what's good? Bleacher Report Boss, what's good? Amtrax, what's good? Hey, you gonna tap in? Amtrax, I'm about to put the link in the chat, bro. Candyman, what's good? Let me put the link in the chat. Let's chop this up for a little bit about what's going on with these Packers. Putting the link in the chat. I really think the Packers are a good team. I think we have championship caliber talent, but I just think the mental mistakes are killing us right now. Drop pass is just period. All of that included is just why we're having issues. But if you just like you're looking at this team, the raw talent, this is a championship caliber team. All we got to do is tighten up on the mistakes. You can't. No one has just come in and just beat down the Packers. That's not what happened. It's a culmination of us shooting us in our foot. If it's a fumble, interception, missed field goal, just it's something like that. We're not getting beat down. We'll let you know it's the talent is there. It's the execution that's hurting us. It's the execution. Sadly. But I like we're a young team, and I'm hoping we can get that together before the postseason. And we got to be careful about making the postseason too. We gotta tighten up. The homie Brandon King Carter said they need to cut down on the penalties. Yeah, but we've been saying that all year. This is an ongoing problem with the Packers, Brandon. What's good, Brandon? All right, random Bucks news. Veggie Gross said Bucks and Clutch Sports working on finding Marjan a new home. Okay. Eric Payne, that's what I'm saying. We are beating ourselves. Nobody just come in and just wash the Packers. That's not happening. It's the Packers making too many mistakes against good quality teams. Shout out to you, Eric Payne. Darkest said sideline love. I'm not gonna say that, but we gotta work through the good and the bad with Jordan Love. He's a great talent. We have to work. Nobody's perfect, so we got to give him time to go through the maturation process of being a quarterback and making better decisions. I think over time he hopefully won't make those type of mistakes. Let's put in the legend in the chat here, Mr. Smith. Let me go ahead and tap you in. Hold on one second. What's going on? How you doing, sir?
Better Sundays, right? Better
All right.
Sundays. Always a blessing, first of all, right? After
Right.
one types of games, I have to keep reminding myself that it's just a game. I'm not gonna,
Right.
right? I'm not gonna get a noise complaint in my housing
Right.
community, right? Because I'm working.
Not gonna get affect the HOA.
Right. I was working on it. I was working on it between the Bucks and the Packers.
Right.
Look,
And
it's
the
I'm
Packers, you see the talent. For me, the Packers, it just comes down to the mental mistakes
that's
and
worse.
execution.
To me, that's worse.
Oh,
Because there's
okay,
no
go deeper. Why you say that?
all right. So I sat there, I guess, like a dummy, listening to the post game podium, and Jordan Love said the same things. The same things. The man has an interception, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. In every single game this year,
Correct.
every single game this year. That's astonishing. That is, and two pick sixes.
Right.
That's a it
Right.
is like the whatever message that is supposed to be getting home. There is an enormous brick wall right here,
Right.
and I feel like
Enormous.
you know,
Right.
right. You know what I mean? For lack of talent, at least the message is getting home with these guys or with Jordan. With this, it's he's not giving me. How do I articulate this in a way that makes sense? There's no way that he's not our guy,
Right.
right? He's our guy. He's our number one guy, right? But right now, he is not giving me any confidence that he's thinking the game.
Mentally. Right.
Right.
There we go. There we go. Right.
Right. Consider that uh, you saw the contrast between someone who's not going to put his team at risk
And
in
Malik.
Jared Goff
Mm-hmm.
versus someone who is going to throw the ball all over the field and make some wild plays, but then this kind of stuff.
That's the thing. The wild plays, it'll blow your mind. But then on the opposite side, the yin and the yang, the interception will blow your mind just the same.
And you
It's
saw who won.
crazy.
And you saw who won. His team didn't. You saw who won. So if we're trying to if this is like a debate, yeah, but he gives you those wild plays, and Jared Goff doesn't give you those wild plays. Yeah, but Jared Goff has only lost one game this year,
Right.
and they came into this game, and they beat us.
And
To
let's
me,
not forget this Lion team was in the NFC Championship last year. This is a quality team.
and and part of why they're quality is that they don't make the goofball mistakes. That's what makes them quality. If you're making the mistakes, then all you are is talented.
Right.
You're not quality yet. You're
That's a
talented.
good point. That is a great point. We're a talented team. We're not a quality team
You're not
yet.
a quality.
Oh yeah, we're talented. That's fair.
You know who's quality? We have quality players.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is quality. He's the best player on our offense right now.
Right.
Jordan Love should have to give the defense and Josh Jacobs his game check.
I
Because
agree.
if I'm out here busting my behind, I'm running through Aleem McNeil, right? And I forget his partner in crime, but they're one of the best defenses against
Right.
the run. They didn't look like it today. I was out here showing and proving. If I can do that, and then after all that work, you turn around and you just
Throw a pick six. Right.
you're out here looking like what's his name from Tennessee? What's his name? This
Will
is the second
Levis.
time. Will Levis. You Will Levis in it. This is the second time. This is not even
Right.
this is the second time. And it's there's no all right, I'm gonna throw the ball at the ground. I'm gonna throw the ball. There's none of that. There's none of that. There's
Jaden
I'm gonna
Daniels even does that. And he's a rookie. But also, let's not go in on Love too much. We do got to bring up the drop passes. There were drop passes.
absolutely. The reason why I go in and love the way that I do is because up until Dak Prescott became the most overpaid quarterback in the NFL history, Jordan Love was the highest paid player in NFL history.
Right.
It begins and ends with you. Unless we're going to give the ball to Josh Jacobs 1,000 more times, the decision, consider where he got that. It
Right.
was 3 at that point, right?
Yeah,
The
10-3.
6-6 turns the game into 17-3.
We
Game
never
over.
recovered. We
Game
never.
over.
Yeah, game over. Not against a
Right.
quality team. You can't give them that type of momentum, and that's what I'm saying. To be good teams, you can't make the mistakes. Even if it wasn't an interception, the penalties came at bad times. The drop passes. We need to become more professional as a team.
So until then, we're just talented. But when we had an opportunity, this was the Bucks against the Grizzlies. When we had an opportunity to make a statement, we did make a statement. And the statement that we made is that we are just talent. Well, the
Right,
Bucks didn't make that statement, but I mean, these guys is that this Lions team that's supposed to be a juggernaut. We had an
right.
opportunity to hang in there with them, and they didn't beat us. We beat ourselves.
Again, that's so
Again, I want to hear about the field conditions when the Lions didn't drop anything. I don't
right.
want to.
And Goff the pass for 80%. For what was it? 18 for 22.
Right. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about the penalties when the only penalties that the Lions had got their player thrown out the game. So
Right.
now they started the game without Aiden Hutchinson, who might be the best defensive player
And
in
their
the league.
best secondary player branch.
Who's their second best defensive player? They're missing their top two players. So I don't want to hear anything about Evan Williams and
Right.
Jair Alexander because when Brian Branch got thrown out the game, I think 30 seconds had gone by. That guy's
Right.
he clown. Like he immediately got thrown out the game.
Right.
And it didn't matter.
True. They didn't miss a beat.
I think I don't know what happened to Dontavian Wicks with all of the preseason hype that surrounded him. I think is too much. Um, yes, he dropped the ball that was thrown behind him that should have gone for a touchdown. But you're in the NFL, man. Every pass that you get is not going to be picture perfect. If the only time you can catch a ball is when it's perfect, that's college level.
Right.
What's supposed to separate collegiate
I
athletes from
think that's
NFL
a great point as well. People always
is
make, oh, it was a little bit behind. I'm like, what are you talking about? If it touches your hand, it's in the general vicinity of your body.
catch
That needs to be a catch.
catch the
Period.
ball. You can go and talk to Jordan after you catch the ball. Hey man, the ball needs to be in front of me next time, but catch
Right.
the ball. Catch the ball. And at that, very disappointing. I
But
have
what?
better
But you
faith.
know what? We need to give the flowers to the defense because even though the defense is being put in bad predicaments, they really didn't break. They like somebody said they only gave up 17 points. So we know we have a good defense. We need the offense to catch up and play up to their ability. What up, Bleacher Report, boss?
Salute,
Hey
salute,
guys, how
salute.
you doing? Just not a good weekend for Wisconsin sports, man. Just not a good
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah, tough. A little bit of tough.
Yeah, it's
We had Cleveland. We had that game one,
Yeah,
and
had
I
that
went.
game. Yeah, we got to
I
see
didn't
them
come on.
tomorrow.
I had to go for a walk after that. I didn't come on. I didn't fry any fish or anything. I, I said, I lost my mind. I character
that
after
yeah,
this.
that was crazy. That was
I came out
crazy.
I, Memphis game. I said I can't go on after the Cleveland game. I can't
uh
do it.
Bleacher
You know what I
Report
mean?
boss, what did you think about today's performance? The good, the bad, the ugly. Go ahead. What's your feel?
all right. The good was they finally ran the ball like they should have. You know, they was running the ball against the Lions. They lost. The Lions. I didn't know that all their front four was gone out of this game. So I'm like, all right, you got a little chance today. But they just kept making mental mistakes. The penalties, the mental lapses they had during the game, and I'm getting
Yeah, the
sick and tired
mental
of
lapses. That's the other thing. They just can't stay focused for 4 quarters. And you're
They're
not
like
going to beat these teams, even like the 49ers and teams like that. Even if the 49ers aren't good, they're disciplined.
yeah.
And that'll keep them in the game, even if they got an average quarterback. We have a
And that's
dynamic quarterback, but we're not disciplined, so we put ourselves in bad situations.
that pick six. I couldn't even believe he threw
Right.
it because I didn't see
again.
Jacob after he threw it and he got picked off. I'm like, why? This is the second time he threw a ball like that and it got intercepted.
Right. In
Just
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. And then I'm like, dude, you're playing like Brett Favre more than anybody right now. You had
Right.
90% right now with Brett Favre. Really playing Brett Favre.
He's not playing like Brett Favre though, because even with all of the interceptions that Brett Favre threw, this dude is eclipsing that. Like he is. It's astonishing right now. It's astonishing right now. Like some of the interceptions are just flat out good plays by the defensive players, and some of
Right.
this other stuff is like I immediately said I can't believe he just did that. I can't believe he just did that again. This tall, lanky, goofy looking such and such. I can't believe he just did it again. I can't believe he just did it again.
Right.
I cannot believe he did it again. I can't. And I was like, I'm going to become
Salute,
toxic.
select
I
cent.
got to walk away. I got to stop because he's an amazing quarterback.
Right.
But it's like he's not. The only thing that I want from guys, this is why I was disappointed in the Cleveland game, using those as an example.
Right.
The Bucs, Cleveland. I was disappointed, but I saw improvement. As crazy as that sounds,
Right.
I'm making excuses. But I saw us actually
Right.
balling. I saw the pick and roll work as good as I've ever seen it. I saw Andre Jackson maybe as a candidate to leapfrog Gary Trent Jr. in the starting line. Gary Trent Jr. is not going to hit any threes. Neither is Ajax. At least get a better defender out there. Whatever. Like, I saw some improvement. That's all. Of course, I'm disappointed that we lost, but I want to see guys actually playing better and learning from some of the mistakes that they were making. This Green Bay game was like, what? When are you gonna? At what point does it stop? Like, what has to happen?
Right, for
One of the
Jordan
players,
Love to wake up and understand you're putting this team in a bad situation.
like, yeah, what does the defense have to grab you and say, look, man, we're out there against the most efficient offense in football, better than Kansas City, better than the Eagles right now.
Right.
Did you see the Saquon Barkley play
Yeah,
today?
I saw that. Yeah, that was crazy.
This Detroit team's better than them.
Right.
They're the best offense in football, and we're fighting with these dudes, and you turn around and you do something like that. Who even cares at this point?
Right.
Now, of course, they can't
This
do
is a
that
great
because they're
comment here. Dartsmith, just going on to your point. Shout out to Derek Stevenson. Packers second best team in the NFL. They're going to be a problem when they cut down on the errors. We have the talent on both sides. It's not like we need this player. We have enough talent. We just got to be smart. I just don't understand. We just got to play smart. It's literally coming down to intelligence at this point and execution.
and maturity.
Okay, there we go. There we go. That's another one.
Maturity. This is like, again, this is supposed to be like what separates college players and kids from adults, grown men, right? First penalty of the game was
Here we
Keyshawn
go.
Nixon going over on the sideline and doing something. That's your fight, Keyshawn? Because the first time Detroit drove down the field and they had us in the red zone, we held them to a fourth down. They decided to go for it on 4th and 1, and they throw it to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Right.
You didn't even turn around and look to see where the ball was. But you over there on the sidelines, like goofing off with them and getting the penalty first drive of the game. Like, I need these guys to stop being big kids.
Right.
I don't know
It's
if
old, like
flag.
that excuse.
Flag was about that play. That first play.
But my thing is like the excuse, the youth excuse, even though they're still young, went out the door last year because you guys are not brand new. You're young.
Right.
You're not new. Some of these defensive players are new, but for the most part, on offense anyway, you guys are not new.
Right.
What's the matter with you? Like, you know what I mean? Zach Tom with a false start.
But that's what I'm saying. Just not being the focus. The focus.
So there you had it. You had an opportunity to make a statement. You got your opportunity. You blew it.
You blew it, yeah.
You blew it.
And they got to look at themselves in the mirror. There's nobody else to blame. There's not officials to blame. Nothing.
And I got to announce you something, Amber. I'm done with Preston Smith. That touchdown run that gave up to Gibbs. Guess who got pushed over like he was nothing? Preston Smith.
He's a little long in the tooth, though. I don't. Yeah, Preston Smith ain't did nothing too much either.
Man, they got to trade for a defensive line. They got to make a trade for the defensive line. It is ridiculous. They cannot push pressure. Like,
that's a good point, though. That is true. We do not. Our secondary makes our defensive line look better than what they are because we got a good secondary.
They got to do something.
We don't get a lot of. We don't get pressure. We don't get a lot of sacks. Though we're paying people to do so.
Well, we don't get a lot of sacks consistently through every game. do get sacks, it's like there's an explosion. So right
Yeah,
now,
I agree with that. That's fair.
you know what I mean? So like right now, if you were to look at the stats, we're top 10 in sacks. And I'll say
Right.
the same, we're top 10 because I'm looking at these games. And then you have like the Tennessee game. You'll have like a game. Who else did we just? It seemed like we murdered him. So, the Texans. And you
Texans,
have
yeah,
a.
yeah.
So we'll have like those games and whatnot. I look. So the good news is, I guess, is that we were in a similar place last year where we
Right.
were questioning around this time, and then we go to the second half of the season,
And turn
and
up.
Jordan Love at that point, I think he's thrown 11 picks now at this point, 10 or 11. No, he's thrown 10. He threw 11 all of last year. He's thrown 10 so far, and we still
Right.
have however many left. Right after that point, he became the best quarterback in football. It's on the strength of that second half that he got his contract.
Right.
Right, and so there are people who are saying we have a bye week. You know he's going to get healthier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not using his leg as an excuse for him throwing the pick. Throw the ball out. His leg doesn't have anything to do with him
Right.
throwing the ball away.
I agree.
Away in that sense, right? If there's a scrum of players, just throw the ball away, right? Just at that. Anyway, there is the hope that he's going to turn it around. It definitely needs to come
Right.
because we have the hardest part of our schedule left. This is like Milwaukee. Like our next games are against Cleveland. I think Memphis again,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken. Boston. We're not doing
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not doing ourselves any favors. So it is what it is. So we'll see what our teams are really made of. We'll see what our teams are really made of. Like what
Yeah.
substance these guys are made of. Because the Packers are in a lot better position than the Bucks.
I
I
agree.
think a lot more talented than
The
than
Bucks.
what the Bucks are showing. I have a lot more confidence in them than right now that I have with the Bucks, but I do think the Bucks are not as bad as their record
Right.
indicates.
But I
Right,
will say that the Packers coaching helps. But they can't go on the field, but you can see that there's a different level in coaching on the Packers.
which is why I'm so disappointed in them today because the way that we lost today to a layman would
Right.
indicate coaching errors. Right, when you have all of these mistakes, these mental mistakes that they're making, then someone can easily point to the coaching. When we know the coaching isn't bad, when we know
Right.
that
You know that. Right.
you made them look bad. So these are like it's like when you see someone who's well behaved, like you have well behaved children or whatever, and you go to church, you well behaved the entire week. You get to church and you act a fool, and everyone is looking at your mother like, oh, she's
Right. Right.
overwhelmed,
They don't even.
can't get nothing, terrible parent.
All
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
somebody help her
The
out. It's
parents
not,
yeah, it's
that's
like
on the child. Like, say again.
you know how and then like you in church and then some kid asks like, yeah, you lucky ain't my son. I'm
Oh
see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you
look.
get all of that.
All right.
You get all of that, and that's what
All
I'm
right.
saying. I know what would have happened to me in church.
All
My
right.
mom wouldn't have cared if we were in the church. The belt would have came off right there in church. So, right, this is what I'm saying. Every time Jordan Love throws because I'm done with the interceptions at
Right.
this point. Every time you throw an interception, you're forfeiting your game check. That's how I would do it. Forfeiting every single one. You do it 2 in a game, you just forfeited next week's thing. Because whatever it is we're saying to you, it's not working. You
Right.
just gonna do it.
And what is going on in film room that you got to look at this in film room and that you got to explain it? Like, what do you say? What do you? How do you explain?
You
You gotta
throw
say
another.
where's the focus? Where is the focus in this game? You know the lines will come in there. Doesn't matter what the weather was gonna be. They was gonna say Phil, you was. You they act like the Packers act like they was the dome team today. That's what I was like
Oh,
thinking. Like
that's interesting point. Yeah,
it was like
that's
they was
interesting.
catch the ball in the rain. And the Lions like, oh, we can't really do that much pass. We don't run the ball today. Like it was just they was not ready, and I don't get it. The Lions are ready. Yes, they're cocky. Yes, but they're hungry. They ain't really win anything last year. They're ready to get
Right.
back in. They got to do this year. It's just I don't get why the Packers wasn't ready for this game. Cool. It
Because
was a couple of plays I saw the linebackers just lapsing, just letting St. Brown just running in the middle of the field. I'm like, You know that's their go-to guy. Get on them. Like, I mean, they're young. That's gone. You're 6-3. I'm just happy they're 6-3 right now because we thought it was gonna be worse than this. So I'm just
Right.
happy that they're 6-3. They get a bye week. Love can get healthy, but they gotta look at the field room. If I'm the coach, I'm gonna look at Jordan Love like, look, I don't give a damn. You get paid $60 million a year. You cannot keep throwing interceptions every game.
Yeah, it's at an alarming rate at this point. It's at an alarming rate.
That's why I said if it's a money thing, right? You know what I mean? Like I said, every time you throw it, this is it, bro. Every time you throw an interception, you are forfeiting your game check, and
Yeah.
it'll go to community chest. Community chest, right? Somebody need a new pair of sneakers or whatever.
Right.
You come on. Jordan just threw an interception. He got you. Don't worry about it. You know, we got you. You know what I mean? Everybody want to go out for a nice dinner after
You
the
know what
game.
else
Jordan,
bothers me with him? He doesn't seem to have any remorse. Like when he does something crazy, it doesn't look like he has any expression. Like, damn, my bad, nothing. He doesn't. That
Well,
bothers me a little bit. I don't see any emotion from him when he
it's like
makes a mistake.
they're not gonna bench me. And I'm looking at him like they need to put Willis in because he just ain't moving right. He throwing interceptions. It just
Do you think this game would have been better with Willis?
no.
no.
Yeah. See,
But,
that's the
but
thing.
the interception won't be happening though. I'll say
You wouldn't be able to move the ball like Jordan Love moved the ball. The thing is, Jordan Love just has to cut down on the turnovers in general. And the
Yeah,
Packers offensively need to not just they're shooting themselves in the foot with penalties. 10 penalties again today. Like, you just can't do that against high quality competition because then it's just a matter of inches, like they say in the game. Because one mistake could be the difference in the ball game. Today, the difference in the ball game, regardless of everything that happened, was the pick six. That was the game. That was the game. Pick six. Period.
game over right there. Like the game wasn't actually over, but that was the major moment in the game. See now, so for me, like I'm not a so I'm not gonna body language police him
Uh,
and say like, all right, well, to me, I think some guys have to be embarrassed
yeah.
into better, right? The media, justifiably so, is gonna kill him now
Right.
after this game, right? I hope someone shows how well Josh Jacobs was playing against an outstanding defense against the run. This is
Right.
not the first this has happened that we've been able to move the ball on the ground against a really good defense against the run.
Right.
Back when we played, they were the best defense in the league. Back then, against the run, we moved the ball against them. We can do it. You have a good game plan. You have an intelligent play uh, crafter in Matt LaFleur, the play designer. The way that
Right.
he designs plays, genius level stuff.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? You're leaving him out here looking crazy with the decisions that you make. Now, I don't think all is lost. I don't think that he's terrible. I'm not. But for me, I think that when they all sit there, that a lot of them are probably going to turn off their social media, maybe, and I hope that
Right.
they do, right? But a lot of these guys, I think, are when they see how close they were at these guys, this Detroit team that's supposed to be a juggernaut team, and they realize how they lost. Amon-Ra St. Brown made some plays for sure.
Right.
Montgomery for sure made some plays. He looked
Right.
like Josh, like it was like a mirror
I mean,
match
yeah,
going on.
it is. Again, but one team didn't make the mistakes.
Exactly, and that's how you lost. And it doesn't matter how many times we say it on Monday or whatever it is that they're saying behind closed doors. It's not like it's not getting in. It's not sinking in. This particular time, the game absolutely turned on the head when you decided to throw a pick six, when you can't throw a check down, when you can't throw it at the ground.
Right.
That absolutely went on his head because they're not going to make the mistakes. Jared Goff does not have an ego.
Right.
He's not going to call the game manager. He's going to check it down to whomever it is he needs to check the ball down to, and they're going to lean on their defense. At that point, playing without Aiden Hutchinson and Brian Branch, and they're gonna lean and they're gonna beat you. In short, they look like professionals, and we look like we were just happy to be there. Right? It looked like you were fighting the champs, and you got the champ with a good jab, and rather than stay within yourself and fight your fight, you got all hyper excited that you
Right.
might have snatched around from him, and the champ just stayed there and just picked you apart for the rest of the fight
Right.
because he's been there and he's done that and he's comfortable with being the champ. Meanwhile, you're gonna sit there in the back when they're taking the
He's
tape off
cooking,
your
ladies
fist,
and gentlemen.
wondering what just happened.
Chef hat apron.
Right? Shane Mosley probably got the best shot on Floyd Mayweather in his
Ever.
career. And then from that round forward, Floyd Mayweather took him apart. That's who we look like. And
Mm.
that's what we look like. We look like we got around and like, oh, we popped him in his face. Because up until this point, no one had
Right.
done that.
Right.
Except for maybe Minnesota and Tampa Bay, obviously. Because Tampa
Right.
Bay did, right? So Tampa Bay, Minnesota, up until that point, those are the only two teams that made Detroit look human. Outside of that, Detroit's been steamrolling everyone. We get there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you. That's why I'm
No,
saying we have all the talent in the world to win a championship. We have the talent. We have the coach. We got a solid kicker now. We have to get the mental together. That's the final piece. That's the final
the
piece
kicker
to
who
a
missed the
great
field
team.
goal.
Yeah, kicker
The
did
kicker
miss
who
it.
missed the field goal. So everybody was flopping today.
Yeah.
Now I'm not back to thinking that we have Braden Narvison again. What
Right.
I'm concerned with that every time Braden Narvison got on the field, I was just thinking it's a matter of time.
Right.
He's gonna. I'm starting to feel that way about Love throwing interceptions. That if you get him off of his more and he starts running, is he going to throw an interception? I'm not there yet. I'm not looking at him like Braden Narvison. That's a bridge too far for me. Like I said, Braden Narvison, I was like, fire that man immediately. I don't even
Right.
know why he's still. Jordan Love, I still think is in the top.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Jordan Love, he had those games where it'd be like 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. It'd be stuff like that to be the problem with Jordan Love.
because
I want
good,
Oh,
Dan, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, Bleacher
what
Report boy.
I want Jordan Love to do all week, all this week is look at film,
That's
all week. Look at all his interceptions he threw. I want him to look at all of it because all of it under pressure, distress. I remember it was one play. It wasn't
that's a
even the
good point too, though. That a lot of his interceptions are under duress, where he had the opportunity to either throw it out of bounds or just take the sack, and then he throws the throw. He chooses to throw the ball, and it's a pick. Good point. That's a great
yeah.
point. Go ahead, Bleacher Report
I
boy.
remember it was because Tom Brady was like, because he was announcing game, he's like, throw it away. The play's over. Throw it away. And I'm sitting screaming, throw the ball away. It's not there. And he still threw it. And then he almost threw an interception. I'm like, oh, man, come on, man. Like, you cannot keep making these mistakes. This is your second year. You got paid, and you still doing a rookie mistake, playing like a rookie? I mean, yeah,
Crazy.
we know how talented this man can be. But times he's throwing the hero ball like a rookie, and you need to stop doing that. Like
Right.
that's not really what we need right now. Like all week he needs to look at him all week. If I'm the coach, I'm gonna sit him like we sitting down together, and I'm gonna go do every plays talking to him like, look, you gotta throw a ball away. You gotta throw a
Right.
ball right here. You cannot be you putting us in danger. You're putting us in a bad position when we throw interception like this. These two pick sixes almost one day we won with the Rams, but this one hurt us bad because they don't make mistakes. This
That's
team
the thing that they do not make. That's why they're so good. Detroit does not give you a lot of opportunities. They don't beat themselves. Let me say that. Detroit doesn't beat themselves. You have to earn a win against the Detroit Lions. You have to earn that win.
and
And
it's
before
not.
it was Detroit, we were saying that about Minnesota. Like they don't make a ton of mistakes either.
Right.
It's these teams that are not putting the ball in. See, for me, I wouldn't even say look at game tape. For the rest of the week, I want you to look immediately if they've had footage of what Xavier McKinney's face looked like. Like these guys who are balling out. Josh Jacobs' face looked
Yeah.
like after you do that. Because that's who you just let down. Because it
Correct.
doesn't matter what you do at this point. The game is about not making mistakes. You know Detroit's not going to make them, and you just made that. You just did that. You just did that. Advantage them. They're not going to give us very many opportunities. And you just did that. Show their face. And after you show that clip, show their face again. And after you show that clip, go into that defensive room and explain yourself. And after you go back to finish explaining yourself, go back and watch that clipping again. And again, you are the captain of the team, even if you're not the best on the team.
Right.
The ball is in your hands more than anyone else. You can't make these types of decisions, bro. You're the best. You're one of the best quarterbacks in football. You're not the
Right.
best. You're one of the best quarterbacks in football.
I agree.
But this stuff that you're doing now,
yeah, it's rookie.
so you got people like
You sat on the bench too long watching Aaron Rodgers. You played a little bit now. He has enough experience, in my opinion, where he shouldn't be making these type of mistakes consistently. Let me say consistently making these type of mistakes.
right. And so, like, for me, like, I feel like you get away with it because you also have like those otherworldly stats that'll come with it, right?
Right.
So you see like a game, Jordan Love throws an interception, sometimes 2 interceptions, but like an interception a game. But then you also see 3 touchdowns, 278 yards, and all that kind of
right.
stuff. And so there's no change. There's no incentive to change, right? We keep saying you got to stop throwing these picks. One day it's going to bite you in the behind when it really matters. It did today.
Right.
It did. It didn't matter. You could have thrown for 500 yards. It didn't matter. Jared Goff didn't. He barely went over 150 yards.
Barely,
and beat you.
barely, but he did enough for his team to win and made plays when he had to.
He
And
just
that's all
jabbed.
they asking him to do.
He just threw a jab. You sitting there on the other side, you trying to throw all this crazy offense. All he did was jab, and he beat you. And he was the best quarterback on the field.
Correct.
By an enormous margin. Because very rarely did I feel like we could get like a good stop on him. When we did, I was surprised. I was like, oh yeah, all right, cool. Because he does not make the mistakes. He does not care about being called a check down. That's why they're possibly on their way to a Super Bowl.
Correct.
With a game managing quarterback. Because he doesn't make the mistakes. Meanwhile, you sitting over there trying to show the entire whatever, and you're doing this over and over again. We'll see. We'll see. All is not lost. I still think that this is capable of beating Detroit. I do. Right? We'll see. We'll see what it looks like in Detroit.
I guess on a positive too, the Bears lost today, so they've fallen behind in the standings.
I mean, but I thought, me personally, I thought that their record was a mirage to begin with. Again, talent, but a Bears team that during live play, you got a player who's sitting there waving at the crowd or whatever. When the ball is live, they throw the ball up. You supposed to be in the back being like the safety net safety. Rather than swat the ball down, you go and give that dude an alley-oop and caught the ball. That's the type of stuff that they have going on in Chicago. Type of stuff that we got going on
he got
in Green
benched
Bay.
Today. He got benched.
Really?
Tyreek Stevens got benched?
Yep, he didn't play today.
He'd have been suspended if it were me. If I'm the coach, you did what? You like not just one, but 2 major errors in that game that suspended. You don't play next game, right? And you don't play next game. You're game checking everything. And that's a Green
That's been quick to come for that game check. He quick to come for that game check.
Because that's what you. Because
that's the only thing people understand is when they lose money. Right? Fines. Fines is the only way to make an example.
Talk to you blue in the face. I'm sitting there. I can show you game tape. I'm trying to speak to you on your level. I'm trying to make you understand. You don't understand none of that. I'll tell you what. Car that you thought you were gonna buy, you can't afford that now.
Not this month. Not this month.
You can't afford that now. You better save your money. You better tighten your belt up. You are living beyond your means because you are not getting that money.
What? You say living beyond your means?
Better pull your socks up. Better consult a financial specialist because every time you look goofy, we are coming back because I don't pay for that. I pay for results.
Frustrating because we gonna come back at the end of the year and like, man, we would have been in a better seed had we won these couple games at the beginning of the year. We wouldn't have had to play on the road the first week of the play. Stuff like that. We're gonna have that conversation. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
The Oakland game last year, or the Vegas game last year against the Raiders, when Josh Jacobs was still on the Raiders.
Right.
We played remember I think it was 4 interceptions in that game
Right.
or whatever. So again, I still have a lot of confidence in this Packers team.
Same. Same.
I actually think that this is the teaching tool that is finally required, because when you are throwing interceptions, but you're still coming up with like those otherworldly stats and you're winning, then there's less incentive. But when you actually point to this and say, and we lost, here are the consequences, right? We're now 0-2 in the division. They are now 2 games ahead of us. We're not going to catch them.
Right.
Very likely that we're going to catch them. I just saw their next schedule. Their schedule's got like Jacksonville and Houston. They might beat those teams like 60-14 or whatever. Like they're going to have.
Right. Facts.
They won't play in the dome until December. They're in the because they just their first game outside, and they won't play again outside until December against the Bears.
So they're going to blow them. We're not going to catch Detroit.
Right.
So here's the pool of teams that you're now with, right? The Commanders are not losing, neither are the Eagles. All of a sudden, the NFC West is waking up.
Right.
They're waking up, right? The only division that gave you a break is the NFC South, and that's because they're always trash, right? You know what I mean? But them, you got Tampa Bay and you got Atlanta, right? If you to have home field and host the division, you pretty much just lost it.
Correct. Detroit is not going to lose 2 games in a row at any point this year. There's no way. That's not being negative or anything. That's being realistic and understanding what I'm seeing in that football team. That football team will not lose 2 games in a row. It had to be something out of the ordinary.
They're the new 49ers. When the 49ers first got Christian McCaffrey, I was like, this is like the Avengers, right? The only weakness I could say is maybe their quarterback.
Right.
And the quarterback, weakness, he just wasn't like of superhero strength.
Right.
But make those mistakes. That's his superpower. I don't make mistakes.
Yeah, right? That is right. He's a more refined version of Alex Smith, if y'all remember Alex Smith.
Yeah. Or to me, and please don't come for me when I say this, because he's absolutely not Tom Brady, right? But there was a year that Tom Brady had an offense where I don't even know if he went over like 30 yards more than 20 times that season.
All that year where they really just chucking it down to Wes Welker, just where it was checked down the whole year. Yeah.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts, but you couldn't beat it.
Right.
You couldn't beat it. That's what they look like. Those types of teams are so hard to beat. You end up losing to yourself because you start saying, wow, I want to, move the field. I want PFF to look at me like I'm one of those guys or whatever. You know what I mean? And so if you don't have an ego, though, and you always have like a reliable check down and very difficult to beat. That's who this guy is. He's not making those mistakes. He is ego free. He's what you want in a quarterback.
But the team in general isn't making mistakes. Let's say that too. Detroit Lions as a team is not making mistakes. They're not penalized a lot. This is a team is ran like the military. I mean, Campbell got them dudes running. I mean, they're not. If you beat them, you beat them, but you're gonna earn it. They're not gonna give you anything. The Lions aren't gonna give you anything.
Case in point, and I'm gonna bounce out, but there was a defensive play late in the game. We were driving, and I think a defensive player, one of Detroit's defensive players, jumped up and got in somebody's face or something like that. Or it was a unsportsmanlike conduct, something like that. Immediately pulled off the field. Like, come out. This is like the dude, what's his name now?
That's the coach.
With the fogged up glasses all game, right? Immediately just was doing this. Just come on out and come sit down next to me. Come on out and come sit down next to me, because that's not what champions do, right? And so we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what we're made of, because I do think that we have the talent to beat this team, but we'll see if we have the maturity.
Right.
We'll see if we have the maturity.
That's what's key.
Because it takes both, you know. On a side note, before I go, has anyone heard from Chris Middleton at all? I'm asking for a friend.
No, we'll know more tomorrow. We're gonna know more tomorrow.
When Betty doesn't play,
he's not playing tomorrow.
Yeah, crazy.
Maybe he'll play on Christmas. Oh, we don't play on Christmas. Maybe he'll play sometime during December.
Man, Wisconsin sports right now, man,
Yeah, it's
it's
rough. It's rough.
it's rough.
Asteroid.
All right. Oh,
I'll trade Devin Williams away.
hey, maybe they go. Maybe we gonna get to it tomorrow. Hey, we gotta see what these Bucks do tomorrow night, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow night. Appreciate you though, Dr. Smith. Appreciate you tapping in. Hey, we gonna have a
Yes,
better
sir.
conversation tomorrow, sir.
That I'm,
Uh,
I'm hoping.
all right, see. All right, all right. Let's get this in. Let me go ahead and adjust this real quick. Yeah, Bleacher Report boss. This is another tough loss. But again, like I said, one thing that's a positive that it's not a talent thing.
Yeah. We don't have to worry about the talent messing up. You know, we got good talent. It's just the discipline,
The
the focus.
discipline. This is all discipline.
Yeah, it's just they. I mean, like I said, if I'm the coach, I'm sitting down like, look, we can't beat Detroit if we're not focused. We
That's
can't
it.
beat. You can't beat. You gotta. They gotta bring it. They gotta bring it. You know, and they even really beat us, but we made too many mistakes. They did enough. They did enough to beat us, and
We
it
gotta
just
we gotta stop doing that. Bleacher Report boss. We got a championship caliber team. We got a good team, and now we're starting to receivers are starting to find their way. I think Jaden Reed is low key our number one receiver at this point.
Tyreek Hill. I'm gonna say it right now. I ain't even gonna hold you. He's our Tyreek Hill because he's so fast.
Man,
Once
that's
you
what
get
I'm saying though. He our number one. We still got Christian watching the cause problem. Wick and then Dobbs is considered my two, and I consider Wicks like my dark horse because Wicks has the most talent.
they just put the defense in these positions to
Right.
lose these
No,
games like
I
that.
definitely agree with you there. But I'm hoping, hey, they use this as a learning experience. And then, hey, y'all, we got the live tomorrow too after the Bucks game. Bucks play Cleveland in Cleveland. Hey, we gonna hopefully we can bounce back from the recent loss at Fiserv Forum. So please check that out. And the Packers, let's not be disappointed. Let's just know we got a quality team that just needs to learn how to finish games and how to execute. The mental is what killed this whole game was just nothing but mental mistakes. There's nobody to blame. And if we're gonna be upper echelon teams, we have to play disciplined football. Period. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta play better football in this because if you're not gonna play better football in this, you're not gonna be really much anybody. It's just they gotta play better. They gotta play better. And I'm glad that they got the bye week now. Worry about what they need to do
Right.
later on. It just make sure they just gotta play better. You
And
just gotta
yeah, and
play.
it's not like they played terrible. It was just the the situation they put themselves in by getting penalties, getting behind in the sticks, allowing Detroit to continue drives. It was things like that, and it was just at the worst possible time for these certain things to happen. That's the problem with the Packers. We can beat like non-elite teams making mistakes because we've done it this year. We can't beat elite teams when we make mistakes. We don't have that. You don't have that luxury. That's why they're elite teams.
And like I said, once you get out of that bye, it's gonna be tough already. Gonna play. I know Chicago
Right.
lost. They're
They
not
gonna be
gonna be.
ready to try to get. They gonna try to get their look back. So
Uh,
we gotta get focused. We got the talent. I don't. And the NFC is tough. So we gotta win games. Period.
yeah. After the bye week, you're gonna be playing against the Chicago Bears, and then the next two games gonna be at home against the 49ers. Then they play Thanksgiving against the Dolphins. So then the next Thursday go back to the Lions. After that for the rest of the month. So that's the rest of the month schedule right there. But they gotta play better football. Like, they just love guys to stop throwing interceptions.
We gotta
Tired
get
for it.
healthy too. We gotta get Jair back.
Tired back. We gotta get Elvin Williams was a miss too because
Right.
it stopped a couple of St. Brown catches, and they just need their guys back. But my personal opinion, I wish we get a trade. We need a trade for a defensive lineman or tackle something because they're not getting enough pressure
And
right now.
there's a way for us to get Miles Garrett. I'd be all over that, bro.
I doubt that happened, but
Right.
they say they gotta do something. I mean, we
I
had the
told
best.
y'all Rashawn Gary and Kenny Clark is mid. I've been telling y'all that forever. I never liked either one of them for years. I think they're both overrated.
They gotta do something because they can't be a fire roster if you can't get any pressure on these quarterbacks. Like you play against elite offenses like this,
You got to
you need
get pressure. You need a
got
Max Crosby. You need somebody who can impact and blow up a game. You know what I'm saying? Even like a Hassan Reddick, somebody like that. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah. So I don't believe, and then like those reports saying that the GM, I mean the owner of the Raiders said I'm never trading Max Crosby. Like I don't believe him. He said point blank that he doesn't want to rebuild. And then what are you doing? You're rebuilding right now.
Right.
So that's lying. So something's gonna happen. But
Well,
the
what
Packers
about
got.
Myles Garrett? I like the Myles Garrett.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, but if that happened, I'll be doing cartwheels, man. That'll be
But Max Crosby, either way, I know they could get pressure.
I know they need to make a trade because Packers got so many picks that can do. But I understand that our GM is like stingy with our
I know,
picks.
but now is the time. A pass rusher could change everything. Like we had like a Chris Jones, like KC got. They changed the whole defense.
Yeah, they do. Something gotta happen. They gotta make a change. If they don't, then we're gonna have the same problems in the future when we have players going at like that. So it just
Right.
they're gonna have 2 weeks to prepare for the Bears, but right now they just need to really get themselves healthy. Right now, just
Agreed.
get get healthy.
So yeah, we gonna see what happened, bro. So hey, we know the Packers gonna bounce back. Let's hope our boys the Bucks bounce back tomorrow too. And we
Yeah,
just gonna keep the positive vibes going on. Appreciate you tapping in, Bleach Report, boss.
I'll
My
see you tomorrow.
dude. Yeah,
Bucks
see you
hope
tomorrow. All right, bro. Go.
get a win.
Here we go. Go. Salute to the homie Bleach Report, boss. Appreciate everyone tapping in. Just wanted to do a quick live to talk about the Packers game. Really trying to get that going on the channel as well. So please, if you haven't already, hit the like button, share the comment, share the content, like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. I'm trying to make this a number one source for Packers news as well. I hope y'all appreciate the content. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the electrifying content, please. I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic, Green Bay Packers trades, rumors, and news, where we just got done discussing the loss, unfortunately, of the Green Bay Packers at home versus the Detroit Lions, 24-14. The back-breaking play of the game was Jordan Love throwing a pick six right before half for the lead to go from 10-3 to 17-3. We never recovered. We'll bounce back. We're a young team. We just gotta learn from our mistakes, though, y'all. Mia Kim, you might, hey, you ain't really wrong for saying that, Mia Kim. You are not wrong for saying that. Shout out to Mia Kim. Glove got to get healthy. Damn, Mia Kim, hey, salute to you. You always be chopping it up. Salute, Mia Kim. Hope to see you tomorrow too in the Bucks live too, Mia Kim. I always like your comments. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the content. Packers will bounce back, but this was a tough loss. We gotta become more disciplined to win and beat elite teams. That's just it. Period. Gone.